Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Rambling RunOff. I am your host, Robert Rios, here to give you the sports news I think you need to hear. And here with me today, as always, is Mr. Danny Tan. Danny, say what's up to the people on the other side of the audio speakers.
What up, y'all? How's it going?
No, yeah, man, it's going pretty good. I hope everyone's been having a good week so far. I know we've gone through, in our neck of the woods, it's been raining like almost every day. I think it's paused for now. So hopefully the weather gets a little bit better. We start heading into that new springtime weather. I know we just got into, was it spring forward, Danny? Is that what the people say?
Yep, daylight saving time.
Yeah, daylight savings time. But I hope everyone's been doing well. On for today's news slate that we got, we're gonna going over some more MLS and some more NBA. So first up, we're gonna go NBA Match Day 4, and then we got a lot of NBA stuff to go over after that. Then for this week's warm-up topic, this was Danny's suggestion from last week. We're gonna do favorite sports memorabilia. Do you remember that, Danny? You had mentioned that.
Yeah.
And then in the rundown, we got a bunch of stuff. So please stick around for that as well towards the end. But Danny, what you been up to? How have you been?
I've been pretty good. I haven't been up to much. I played some golf. On Saturday, I watched the Sean O'Malley Vera fight on Saturday. That was sick. I also watched the co-main event, Poirier versus that French dude. What a knockout by Poirier. And Sean O'Malley, kind of picked apart Vera. But yeah, that's all I got, Rob. Actually, we went to the driving range together. Rob,
yeah, I was about to say I was gonna mention that right now.
Yeah, that was fun.
I was doing pretty good, by the way. I was doing better than Danny.
Yeah,
so.
surprising. Oh, okay, for me, relax. Surprisingly, Rob was doing pretty good.
I know,
quite a bit better
myself,
than
honestly.
the last time our gang had gotten together. Say that again, Rob.
No, I even surprised myself.
Yeah. You're a lot less.
Like,
Go ahead.
I'm a lot less what? I want to hear you say this. What?
Yeah, you're a lot less wild. You're more controlled with your swing. There's some thought, I can tell. You're a little upright and a little bit stiff. But the ball goes straight and it goes far. I can't complain.
No, I was noticing that too. I was like, wait, I should probably be bending more down. 'Cause I think that's why my back started to hurt towards the end. That's why, I would admit, towards the end of our range time, I started not hitting the ball so well. Because every time I would swing, my back would start to strain. I'm like, okay, something's not right. I'm not doing something correctly here.
Yeah, it's because you're standing so upright. You're not using your legs to turn, so you're turning yourself, just your upper body. So your motion kind of stops at your hips, and it puts all the strain on your lower back, like when you're doing that twisting motion.
Yeah, I figured that's not a conventional way on doing it too. Cause I was like, all right, I gotta fix it again. It was helping in the beginning. Because it was only just my back moving. But once, I should probably be moving everything to help get the ball moving and getting into the air.
I would change nothing about your upper body, and just kind of turn your body, as you swing. Maybe turn your hips as soon as you feel that you've hit the ball, just so that you can unload a little bit, and then slowly you can start, shifting your weight and whatnot. It's a huge difference. To our listeners, previously Robert would hit it kind of like Charlie Brown. When he tries to kick the ball and Lucy pulls it away, he'd run up at it, kick, the ball's gone, whoop, 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 fall over. Rob was the same way. He'd swing at the ball, miss the ball completely, spin around 3 times, fall over. It was like a Three Stooges episode, Tom and Jerry, Looney Tunes, what have you.
I know that's what happened towards the end too, because I can't do this no more.
Yeah, but it's a huge improvement. Yeah, you kind of went the opposite way, where you're very controlled upper body, and your lower body is kind of not moving. So you gotta find a little bit of the middle, keep the upper body movement, and just give a little bit of some schnaz to the lower body weight shift. But it's all just practice.
No, yeah, in due time, in due time.
Yeah. And this year, definitely want to hit the course with you and our homie. For sure, get together. We can crack some brewskis, chop it up on the course. Maybe one of us will get a hole in one this year. That'd be sick. And yeah, that'd be so cool.
No, yeah, man, I'm down. Anytime, bro.
Yeah, what have you been up to, Rob?
Oh, nothing much. Just that. That was probably the highlight of my week, honestly. Nothing too crazy. Just work and going to the range. That's why I was like, damn, like I haven't played in a while, and I did so well.
Oh, dude, I know. I think if you just hit the range maybe like once or two times a month ish, like whatever, or however much your drive pushes you to go, you can get pretty good, bro. Even some practice swings at home. I feel like you can get pretty good.
Maybe. But sir, are you ready to start the rambling?
I am ready.
Alrighty, everybody. As I mentioned earlier on, first topic, MLS Match Day 4, in which we had another slate of cultivating matchups once again in Major League Soccer. I mean, I thought it was another good week for the league. You had I think you had 2-3 scoreless draws, which everything else had at least a goal apiece or two, which is pretty good for a league of this caliber. So yeah, it was a lot of goals this week. Just to go over team of the match day, which still sounds weird to say. This week we had Insigne, Yakamakis, and Pukki up at front. Then in the middle we had Bassett, Puig, Forsberg, Evander. We had Alba, Alvarez, and Farsi in the back. And then as a goalkeeper we had Lloris being the goalie. Player of the match day was I was saying it earlier and I already forgot. Yorgos Yakamakis from Atlanta United is your player of the match day. He was given that.
Greek?
I would say, yeah, he's like Greek. Yeah, he had a great game for Atlanta. He had a hat trick, so shout out to him. And yeah, I'm gonna, yeah, I know, right? I'm gonna dive into all the score lines and then we'll pick and choose whatever kind of game kind of call our attention. First up, we had Portland Timbers at 2-1 over New York City FC. New York was the host team. They got the game rolling with a 10th minute goal by Santiago Rodriguez. Then the Timbers came back to win the game in dramatic fashion. Anthony scored in the 85th minute. And then this goal kind of just came out of nowhere. Evander just kind of just tossed up the ball into the air and it floated into the back of the net for a legit last minute winner. 90+7 is what was read on the clock. So Portland Timbers still on a roll, first place in the Western Conference, undefeated as well. Charlotte FC was defeated by Toronto FC by another Lorenzo Insigne golazo. He was right outside the penalty area, lined it up, bang, into the back of the net in the 80th minute. Then, as aforementioned, Atlanta United were victorious. They won 4-1 over New England Revolution. They were at home. A good crowd of 68,000 people for their home opener. Atlanta opened up the score sheet with the Thiago Almada 45th minute goal. His penalty. And then, yeah, as I mentioned, Yakumakis with his hat trick in the 55th minute. Atlanta earned a penalty. He slotted it. And yeah, in the 60th minute and the 74th minute is where he got the two other goals. And then for New England Revolution, they got their consolation goal by Carlos Hill. So, yeah, that was the scoreline there. But yeah, shout out to Atlanta, 68,000. I think their stadium can fit up to 72,000. So, I believe it was a sellout, but it was not a full crowd. That it was not a capacity crowd. I guess that's the proper word. Is that what you call it? A capacity crowd, right, Danny?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's also called packing the stands, Rob.
Oh, okay. The old school term, packing the stands. But yeah, shout out to them. I mean, I believe it was ranked 5th or 6th highest attendance in the world. So,
Damn.
all soccer.
Really?
Yeah. Yes.
Jesus.
Moving on now. Chicago Fire visited the Columbus Crew. The Crew were victorious 2-1. Columbus's Jason Russell Rowe scored in the 68th minute. And then Fabian Erbers scored in the 72nd minute for the Fire. But Mohamed Farsi in the 90th minute, 90 plus 10 specifically, got the winner for Columbus, giving them the victory. FC Dallas played New York Red Bulls, where Red Bulls New York was victorious 2-1. Emil Forsberg scored in the 30th minute and Luis Morgan in the 54th. Dallas gained their lone goal by Jesus Ferreira in the 59th minute. Minnesota United and Orlando City played a squirrely game of soccer, which had them going back and forth, a game that which also included 7 yellow cards. The game looked done and dusted up until as it was 2-2 until Minnesota got the game winner very late to give them the victory 3-2. Orlando's Duncan McGuire scored, I believe, within the first 15 seconds of the game, and also earned him a second goal in the 83rd minute. So I believe that's one of the, it's not the fastest goal, but it's in the top 5/top 10 fastest goals in MLS. So if you look at the score sheet, Danny, it says he scored in the first minute. Well, obviously it was the first minute, but it was actually like the 14th or 15th second of the game.
Holy shit.
Yeah. And then on the other
Were they
side,
even able to
Minnesota,
stop the clock in time or what?
Like, what do you mean?
They scored so fast. They probably look down, write something down, look up, there's a score. That's crazy.
No, yeah. Yeah, because it still had seconds on the clock. Remember, the clock goes up, so it wasn't even at the first minute. It was just within the first minute. Yeah.
Yeah, man. Damn.
And then for Minnesota, Teemu Pukki scored in the 4th and 38th minute of the game. So Minnesota, hanging around. You let them hang around, and they're gonna punish you. All right, I'm gonna attempt to say this man's name. Bongo Kyoli. Hagwan. Oh dang! I had the first part. Dang it. How long way? I don't think you said the H. Yeah, long way.
Long wing.
In the 90 plus 5th minute of the game. Sorry if we butchered your name. I think we're in the Blue House. I have to double check. The highlights. But yeah, Minnesota 3-2 in stoppage time. Then we get our first draw of the day. Austin FC versus St. Louis City SC. Austin's Matt Hedges and Julio Cascante get on the board. Hedges in the 14th and Cascante in the 51st. Then for St. Louis, they get their goals by Edward Lowen in the 49th and then Cielo Pompey in the 93rd minute of the game of stoppage time. So another close game with another stoppage time goal. So I don't know if you know it. I just don't realize as this is scoring, there's a trend here going. All these goals coming in stoppage time, literally seconds before the game ends. So it was really dicey. Then we had the Rocky Mountain Cup between the Colorado Rapids and Real Salt Lake. The Rapids were victorious 2-1. RSL got the game going with the Emeke Enil goal in the 22nd minute. Then the Rapids, of course, piled on their 2 goals with the Rafael Navarro 43rd minute penalty. Then Cole Bassett gave them the victory in the 70th minute. We head over to the Vancouver Whitecaps and San Jose Earthquakes game, where the Whitecaps were victorious 2-0. Alessandro Schorf, I think that's how you pronounce it, scored in the 74th minute. And a couple minutes later, Ali Ahmed scored in the 86th minute for the Whitecaps. Your lone, technically, 0-0 draw of Saturday was between Sporting Kansas City and LAFC. The game ended 0-0 with 6 yellow cards on the table. And on Saturday as well, there was a game classified as 0-0, but officially was abandoned as the Philadelphia Union and Seattle Sounders could not play their game due to inclement weather, as the field they were trying to play on was flooded. So according to reports, the game will be rescheduled on a more practical date. And then Sunday we had 3 games on slate, so all those games were on Saturday. We had the LA Galaxy traveling to Nashville SC. Nashville got the jump on the Galaxy after a 0-0 first half. Teal Bunbury scores in the 54th minute to give him the lead 1-0. Then Drew Yearwood in the 58th minute puts up Nashville 2-0. Looked like the game was done and dusted, but of course 2-0. You just gotta say it, 2-0, the most deadliest lead in all of soccer, all of football. The Galaxy come back, get 2 goals for themselves. Ricky Puig shoots a ball outside from the penalty area in the 67th minute, gets them on the board. And then the Galaxy just kept pushing and pushing to the point, I believe, Joseph Pencil takes a shot. Pinnacle, the goalie for Nashville, blocks it. The ball lands to Aude, I believe. And then just out of that scramble, gives a good center ball to Dejan Joveljic and taps it in the 82nd minute. I don't know, the Galaxy just were handing it to Nashville. They were reluctant. You had a midfield battle. And yeah, these guys just would not go away. So I'm pretty sure this is one of those games where it's like you could have either walked away upset, satisfied, or indifferent, because it was just that type of game, considering it was 0-0 at the half. So you got 4 goals in 45 minutes, which, if you think about it, is kind of insane. And after that, we had FC Cincinnati and DC United, who also went to a 0-0 draw. That game concluded with 5 yellow cards on the board. And in the game that everyone was probably watching, CF Montreal traveled to Inter Miami CF, where Montreal, correct me if I'm wrong, upset Inter Miami 3-2. Montreal's Fernando Alvarez in the 13th minute, Matias Kokaro in the 75th, and then Sunusi Ibrahim in the 78th minute get on the board for Montreal. For Miami, Leonardo Campana in the 71st, and Jordi Alba also gets himself on the score sheet in the 80th minute. This was a dicey game. I don't think anyone really thought Montreal could get anything past Inter Miami. A note of thought, though, Messi did sit out for this game, as they did play basically about 3 or 4 games in the span of 2 weeks. So he was due for a rest day. They had just played their CONCACAF Champions Cup game prior to that, so I'm pretty sure tired legs for a lot of people. They did sub and move around a lot of people, so yeah, I'm going to be surprised if they're trying to focus on the CONCACAF Champions Cup, which they do play this week as of this recording. But those are the games from this week. Dan, I don't know if you got the chance to see any of these games, but you want to give us your 2 cents on anything that I just read, that I just pointed out here?
I did not get a chance to watch any of these games, unfortunately. I know. It's a big slate of games. The only game that stood out to me was Columbus Crew. You already know, taking that shit, holding it down. Other than that, the LA Galaxy with the 2-2. Looks like they're trying to bounce back. And you're probably happy to see LAFC walking away with such a boring ass game, 0-0.
No, yeah, I had heard / it was a difficult game. It was a true goalie battle. Considering, at that point you're just trying to keep 0-0 on the board. There's no offense generating anything. Because anything to walk away with at least a point. Because then at least you get to leave with something,
Yeah.
But I heard it was a dicey game out there. But let me see. I would point out the Portland game specifically because like I said a couple of recordings ago, you come out, you stomp on Colorado. You did give up 3 points against DC, but you still looked really good. Just DC was just they're equally a good team that's on the up. Yeah, they're on one. They're on one and they're up on the bounce back. And yeah, you go into New York, a terrible. Is that how Chuck says it? Is it Chuck that says it? Terrible.
That's
New York
just
City
terrible
team. who I believe are just. Oh, by the way, Danny, this was their first goal of the season. 3 games in. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, 3 games in. They finally get their first goal. I mean, they get it at home at least.
Yeah, I guess, but you still lose.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, they could have walked away with the point, but they literally let that last goal in at the last second. Yeah, it's not looking too good for New York City, who, like 2 years ago, lifted the MLS Cup.
That's insane.
Like, yeah, so how the mighty have fallen. But I will point out, they've made some roster moves here and there. I wouldn't be surprised if, maybe their sources have gone dry. I mean, who knows?
The same thing happened with the Toronto Raptors in the NBA. Kawhi Leonard left in free agency. He didn't want to sign. You lose your star player, and then everything kind of goes to shit.
Yeah, yeah, I guess you could say that's kind of what happened. They had I'm forgetting the guy's name, but he was really good. I mean, obviously this is MLS, where the MLS is like a league. If you're like a middle tier player and you want to get to the next step, you come to the MLS as a jumping point. So,
and then you go international.
Yeah, to where the big boys play. So yeah, he I think he was transferred to a team in Spain. Dang it, I'm forgetting the guy's name. He was like their better player in my opinion. But yeah, I feel like after they let him go, like it just kind of went downhill. I know they lost their coach. I forgot for what was the reason. So they have someone else at the helm as the manager. So, but yeah, that's kind of shocking to see. And just out of it being ironic, the Portland Timbers is who they defeated in that final. And I'm not saying that the Portland Timbers have been this amazing team also since that final, but like they've been consistent at least. I'm just saying that they're playing better than they have. And I'm just saying, I'm pointing out the opposite. Like here, like look at New York City; they're not playing good at all, and the Timbers are first in the Western Conference. New York City is currently 14th out of 15th in the Eastern Conference. The only reason why they're not dead last is because goal differential, which is at -4.
Oh damn! Okay. At least they didn't give up a bunch of goals.
Well, I mean they've lost 3 times now, so it's not looking so good for them right now. But yeah, any other teams on here that catch your attention?
Any other teams on?
Anybody? Just pick a team and I can explain something.
Houston.
All right, Houston. I mean, they're playing pretty well. They're currently, where are you guys at? 12th in the Western Conference, 12th out of 14th. They have the draw and the loss, so they have the 1 point under their belt. I mean, it's still early on in the season. I mean, they're playing in Champions Cup, which I think they might have been eliminated already by Columbus. I have to double check that as of this recording. So, if I am not correct, please tell me if I am not. I believe Columbus did defeat them in Champions Cup, which I know they have a decent squad on them. I know their notable star player Hector Herrera picked up a knock, so I don't know if he's playing right now at the moment. But yeah, I think Houston's trying to have a good year considering they made it to the Open Cup final last year. They had a deep run into the playoffs last year as well in the Major League and for the Major League Soccer playoffs as well. But yeah, I expect them to have a good season. Let's just see. But like I mentioned to you before, Danny, the MLS is a parity league, so
yeah,
it could all be good one day and go to shits the next day. Let me see. Who else? Who else do you think? Who else catches your eye on here, Danny?
Another team that catches my eye. I mean, like you said, Montreal upsetting Inter Miami. That's great.
Yeah, Montreal, they're currently in second place. I think last year they were at the bottom of the table for a majority of the year. I think
Damn.
what a lot of people were saying was that they kind of fell behind, like in regards to like signing players. They currently have 7 points, second place behind Inter Miami. They signed Joseph Martinez, which he's a former MVP, former Golden Boot winner, former all-time leading scorer of the league as well. So that was a good pickup. We have to wait and see what they can do more down the line as the season progresses. But yeah, they're looking good right now. Considering I don't even think they can even play any of their home games because it's snowing up in Montreal. So, but yeah, Montreal doing very well for themselves.
Yeah,
All right, Danny. Here's the. I'm gonna put you more on the spot. I'm gonna tell you some team names, and you're gonna tell me. I'm gonna give you some matchups, okay? And you're gonna tell me. You're gonna pick a team, and you're gonna say win, loss, or draw, okay?
Gotcha.
Is that fair?
Here.
All right. Chicago Fire, CF Montreal.
I'm gonna choose the Fire.
Mm-hmm. To win, okay. Seattle, Colorado.
Draw.
Draw, okay. Columbus Crew, Red Bulls, New York.
Columbus Crew. Easy.
Okay. Nashville, Charlotte.
Oh, that's tough. I'm gonna go Nashville with that one.
Okay. Let me see. And then we're going to go to Sunday's matchups. New England, Cincinnati.
Ooh, that's tough. Cincinnati.
Yeah, that's a good, yeah. Cincinnati to win. All right. And we got a, how would you say, Southeastern Derby between Atlanta and Orlando. What you got?
Atlanta. I gotta go ATO with that one.
All right. I see you. All right. Let me see. And for news, very quickly, the Portland Timbers are rumored to sign Uruguayan forward Jonathan Rodriguez from America, because I believe they do have a DP spot open. So yeah, we'll have to see if that deal goes through. I believe it would be a $6 million transfer fee for the Uruguayan striker. He is 30 years old, so we'll have to see how long he lasts here in the league. But yeah. So, Danny, I think for next week, I'm going to give you like 2 or 3 highlight videos. I'm going to give you homework. I'm going to give you 2 or 3 highlight videos, and you have to watch them and tell me one interesting thing from both of those videos. Does that sound fair?
Give it to me, man.
All right, man. Next week for sure. But yeah, that's all I got for the MLS. Unless you have something random you like to throw in there for some reason.
Nope.
Alrighty then. We're gonna move on. Are you ready, my guy?
Yes, Zersky.
Excellent. We're gonna go from the grass to the hardwood with NBA talk. We got a few things to go over. As the NBA has announced, and they're recognizing this, there are only 5 weeks left of the regular season. And yeah, we got a slew of games that that have potential playoff and play-in game. What's the word? Implications? Is that how you say it?
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I mean, there's a bunch of stuff going around. Like here what I got right here. Some milestones to look over. Kevin Durant currently only needs 53 points to pass Shaquille O'Neal for 8th on the NBA's all-time scoring list. Based on his scoring average of 28.5 points per game. He's currently 4th in the NBA. Durant is on pace to get there in 2 games. They play the Suns. The Suns are at the Hornets on Friday. And that will be at 7 p.m. Eastern on NBA TV. Also, along with that, James Harden, he needs 20 points to enter the top 20, passing Vince Carter and joining KD and LeBron as the only active players in the top 20 all time. James Harden averages 17.5 points per game. Mr. Harden could do this this week against the Wolves, or against the Bulls on Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern, which you can watch on the NBA app. But yeah, Danny, what do you think about that?
I mean, KD, an incredible scorer. Same thing with Harden. I think Harden's got a little bit of a tougher career. He's had to single-handedly carry teams on his back, especially when he was in Houston for a while. I mean, they're both two incredible players. James Harden on arguably a better team right now, with the Clippers, and but yeah, I mean KD, he's dealt with a lot of injuries in his career, and it's incredible to see him bounce back and whatnot. But yeah, I mean, it's great to see these two future Hall of Famers, reach these two milestones. Harden is gonna have a tough game against the Wolves, kind of vying for Western placement. KD should be smashing those goddamn Hornets. They suck. But yeah, I mean,
yeah, they're pretty bad.
Flowers to these two future Hall of Famers.
Oh, okay.
In other news, on Tuesday, TNT will be hosting a doubleheader, where the West leading OKC will host Indiana. That'll be on TV at 8 p.m. Eastern, and the East leading Boston will wrap up a 5-game road trip to battle Utah. That'll be airing 9 p.m. Eastern. You can watch both of those on TNT or the NBA app.
Not a sponsor.
Not a sponsor. Sick.
As of this recording,
yeah,
the Pacers are up 64-56 in the third quarter. I was about to say, yeah, this should be I mean, it is right now. I mean, if you look at the scoreline, it's a competitive game. Considering the Thunder are, I would say, a vastly more dominant team. Considering if you look at the conference standings, however, the West is a little more, how would you say, like cleaned out, except for
it's a tighter race in the West.
Yeah, in the East, it's like it's a crapshoot.
Yeah, I mean,
so the Pacers are fighting and clawing.
Yeah, in the East, right now, I think 4th through 8th place are 3 games apart. So it's pretty tight in the East as well. I know.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Everyone says it's the Wild Wild West, but the East is getting pretty tight. Right now the Pacers are sitting at 7th. Yeah, like you said, OKC, top of the West right now. The fact that the Pacers are even hanging in there, they're a high scoring team, high flying. As long as they keep the ball moving and keep that pace up, they're a tough game. They're a tough team to beat. So we'll see if the OKC Thunder, they've been dropping games here and there. They've dropped, I think all 3 of their games, 3 out of 4 games against the Lakers, a team that by standing they should beat every single time. But Indiana, they like the Celtics sometimes, and a lot of other 3-point teams. They live and die by the 3. So if they're shooting like they are right now, shooting the lights out, they're doing great. But as soon as things slow down a bit beyond the arc, they got to find other ways to score. I think the Pacers team right now is doing very well, pushing the pace and getting the ball across, moving the ball around. As Pascal Siakam's come back, and Tyrese Halliburton is getting back into the swing of things. So we'll see what it is. Unfortunately, they lost their Benedict Mathurin to season-ending surgery, I believe. One of their great players, killed my fantasy team, kind of. But quick recovery to you, Mathurin. It's only his second year. Hope he gets better. But yeah, I mean, the Pacers, they got the work cut out for them.
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, as of right now, the Pacers are giving them a good fight. So, but yeah,
and Boston's gonna smash Utah. Yeah,
bruh.
Not much to say there. Come
on. Wednesday, for this Wednesday, as of this recording, which is probably when you're listening to it now.
Probably today. Yep.
Yeah. The NBA is deeming it play-in night, as all teams 7 through 10 in the West will be in action, with the number 8 Mavs hosting the number 10 Warriors, 8:30 p.m. Eastern. And then the number 7 Kings hosting the number 9 Lakers at 10 p.m. Eastern on ESPN. And then play-in night part 2, the number 7 Pacers host the number 9 Bulls for the East, for a spot at the play-in position at 7:30 p.m. Eastern, with the winner taking a 2-1 lead to head-to-head with 1 game to play. And we also have a finals rematch. The Nuggets and Heat meet in Miami at 7:30 p.m. Eastern on ESPN, where Denver won 3 out of 4 last June to seize control of the 1-1 series. So take that as you will.
Excuse me.
Yeah, Danny, from these games, which one catches your eye?
Definitely the Lakers Kings game. That's gonna be a big test for both teams. The Kings are kind of looked at as a hot young team that's kind of fallen off with kind of losing their sense of identity. They were a high offense team 2 years ago. Last year they got knocked out by the Warriors. So this year they've definitely got to step back up. And Sabonis is playing out of his mind. So is De'Aaron Fox. I think the West is just really tough right now. So I think it's going to be a big game for them to make a statement, show everybody that they're still here. They're here to play. And that Mavs Warriors team, if the Warriors are able to beat out the Mavs, it says a lot. The Mavs are finding their stride with Daniel Gafford in the mix. So those 2 games are going to be really cool. That Nuggets Heat game, if Jimmy Butler turns it on, that's going to be one to watch. What is that East game? The Pacers Bulls. What a suck fest. The Bulls suck. The Pacers probably going to beat them. Yeah, I mean, not bad. They did 3 out of the 4 games. Pretty good. Yeah, I mean, I would be very excited to watch the Kings-Lakers game just because both teams have something to prove. The Mavs-Warriors game, I think the Warriors want to try to make a statement to show everybody that even though they've had their struggles this season, they're able to take out a hot team like the Mavs right now. And then the Nuggets are definitely just going to stomp on the Heat. I mean, unless Jimmy Butler and Tyler Hero have huge games, they're going to get stomped on.
Oh, okay. And I just like to point out, yeah, if my memory serves me correct, about a little over a week ago, the Kings and the Lakers did play. The Kings were victorious 130 to 120. I believe we talked about it. And I said the Lakers need to win this game because you're playing a team that's right next to you. And unless they're trying to participate in the play-in game, which I'm assuming they don't want to, then it's another must-win basically at this point. We have 5 weeks left. That's gonna fly by.
Was that the game where LeBron passed 40,000 points? I don't know. I don't remember. But
I don't recall, but it was not that long ago. That was also not that long ago as well.
It was a tough loss for sure.
130 to 120.
Yeah.
I believe it was not because De'Aaron Fox. That's the game that De'Aaron Fox went off. So I highly doubt it was that game.
Yeah. But well, I mean, Lakers definitely have to win to show that they can take out a team like the Kings. The Kings definitely want to win because to show that, last year they got knocked out by the Warriors, and then the Lakers swept the Warriors. And then we'll see.
The other game, what was it? It was the Warriors and the Mavs.
The Nuggets. Miami.
Oh, excuse me. Yeah. Wait, what? I'm talking about right now.
No, sorry, you're right. The other game in the West.
That's another series
Mavs and Warriors.
Same thing. You're both 7 through 10. You guys gotta get a dub.
Yep.
If you're trying to get into at least a 6th place position, you got 5 weeks left. It's just gonna fly by. So, I mean that's my 2 cents there.
Yeah. Fun games. Check those out. Play-in night. That'll be Wednesday, March 13th. Today, if you're listening. But the following day, Thursday, the Suns will visit Boston. The Suns will face some of their toughest competition yet. See if they maintain their grip on a guaranteed playoff berth. That'll be airing on TNT at 7:30 p.m. Eastern. Then we've also got showdown for two possible MVPs from the West, Luka and Shea, two of the league's top scorers. They're facing off for a 2 meeting stretch, or for the first of 2 meetings, excuse me. That'll also be on TNT. Tip-off should be at 10 p.m. Eastern. It'll be OKC's first time to see if they can slow down Luka and stay at the top of the West. Rob, do you have any comments on these two games, the Suns versus Boston and the Mavs versus OKC?
Well, I mean, we'll see at this point if KD breaks that record. I mean, if he does have to challenge against the Celtics, it's going to be very difficult because the Celtics play really good defense, and they know how to move the ball around offensively. And then for the OKC Mavs game, I mean, you might as well just not play defense at all. You have two guys
on both sides.
Yeah, on both sides that just know how to run up the scoreboard. So yeah, I'd be interested to see how both teams for the Thunder and Mavs game try to contain the two-star players. Considering, as I said, like they just know how to throw up the ball and get it through the hoop. But yeah, let's see if KC is as dominant as they say they are. I mean, it's first place team versus a play-in team at the moment. But yeah, it should be an interesting matchup. I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, we'll see if the hot Mavs with Luka, Daniel Gafford, and who the hell is the other guy they pick up? Whatever. Who cares?
I mean, I could look it up. I'll look it up. Here, you keep talking.
Up as well. But yeah, OKC has been a very consistent team. They've got a lot of young guys. We'll see if Luka and the newly vamped Mavs, who's on their roster. It is not Dwight Powell, not Josh Green. PJ Washington. Daniel Gafford and PJ Washington. They're two pickups at the end of the trade deadline. I've been doing so solid for them. We'll see if the newly revamped Mavs and Luka and Kyrie Irving, will be able to shake down Shea, Jalen Williams, Chet Holmgren. Yeah, that really young team. It's another team that shoots the three so well. Has great ball movement, really long, great on defense. So we'll see what it is. As for the Suns in Boston,
I saw Kyrie was playing good the other day.
Yeah, Kyrie has been such a solid player throughout this season. I think he's not much coverage is about him because his numbers are expected, and he's playing next to Luka, who kind of demands the limelight. So Luka has been outshining his Hall of Famer co-star, but Kyrie's been doing really solid. I'm surprised that he's played as many games as he has. He's had a couple of injuries, but I'm surprised he hasn't gotten himself in some controversy that's made him sit out a couple of games. Good on you, Kyrie. But yeah, as for the Suns and Boston matchup, the Suns really need to take this game as this is the benchmark game, right? If they're not taking this game seriously, they need to be able to beat Boston or get really close to show that they're still contenders. They've got a big three that's able to hang with the best of them. If they get beat by Boston, even by like high single-digit points, it'll kind of show that Boston is just too much for them. If you're losing a game really close, but Boston's not at full strength, it just shows that you're not ready yet. So KD will potentially break his placing, his 7th place all-time scoring placing. Is that it? For 8th to pass Shaq. In that game, we'll see what it is. He might even break it tonight. It's tonight, right? Against the Hornets.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean that team sucks. He could drop 50 on them. But yeah, we'll see. 2 good games on a Thursday night. We'll see how it goes.
No, yeah, I'm excited to see what happens. And then you're talking about Thursday night. We move on to Friday. Apparently, don't think this team are sleepers. New Orleans, the Pelicans hold the longest active win streak in the league, which is 4 games.
Yeah.
And we'll take on the Clippers, seeking a top 4 spot in the West. The game is at 8 p.m. Eastern. Danny, who gets the victory in this matchup?
This is a tough matchup. The Pelicans were able to take on the Clippers, I think, Sunday. They were able to take down the Clippers. and they for this rematch, the Pelicans look so good. They've got so many weapons. I think we talked about it near the end of the trade deadline, but I thought that they had too many people to share the floor and share minutes with. The Clippers kind of have the same problem. They're both very deep teams with great stars and supporting role players on the bench and on the floor that can be starters or sixth men, seventh men interchangeably. So it really is a battle of two very deep teams. The Pelicans, I think, have a stronger starting five with CJ McCollum, Giannis Valanciunas. You've got Zion, Brandon Ingram. Who else? Herb Jones. They've got extra guys. Trey Murphy the third. They've just got so many people. The Clippers the same. Norman Powell, of course. Kawhi, Harden, Westbrook, Paul George, Zubac. They've got a lot of guys as well. So we'll see. I think the Pelicans are doing so well because they're hungry. The Clippers have a lot of star power, but the Pelicans are younger. I think they've got quicker feet. I think the Clippers are better on defense somehow. But we'll see how it is. If Zion drops 15 and is able to get double digits rebounds, get a double double in there. He's been passing the ball great this season. I think that's something he's been working on. I'm seeing it. Jonas Valanciunas has been great at the five when Zion is both in and out of the game. And Brandon Ingram's been having a hell of a season as well. So we'll see. We'll see. I like the Pelicans for this one, Rob. What do you think?
I'm gonna go Pelicans as well.
Hell yeah. Fuck the Clippers. Anyway, to round off the week, nearing the end here, Saturday, we'll get a SoFi play-in preview. If the season ended today, the Lakers would face the Warriors in a matchup. It would be the 9th seed versus the 10th seed in a semi play-in at SoFi. With the loser going home and the winner moving on to face the 7th-8th.
Oh no, it's not at SoFi.
Or loser.
It's just saying it's sponsored by SoFi.
Oh, it's sponsored by SoFi? Oh, I thought it was no. That's stupid because SoFi is not a basketball stadium.
Sorry, Sky wrote down in the notes. It's the SoFi play-in game.
Oh,
non-sponsor.
Wait, what? It's sponsored by. Oh, that's weird. Okay. But where's it at? Is it at? It has to be at Golden State, right? It's not at Laker home.
I don't believe so. Let me double check. But what do you think about this matchup? So information.
This is a kind of like a revenge matchup. Lakers knocked out the Warriors. We'll see how it goes. I think the Lakers have the Warriors number. Unless Steph Curry pops off for 40 to 50 points. D'Lo has been doing so well. Rui Hachimura.
The Lakers are the home team.
Very consistent.
Crypto.com arena.
Gotcha. Yeah, I mean, flowers to Jonathan Kuminga for having a great season. He's finally taken the leap that I think the Warriors organization has been waiting for. Klay Thompson doing very well coming off the bench. A lot of grace for him taking a step back and saying, hey, if I'm not doing well starting, it doesn't matter if I start or not. I'm finishing the game still, which he is. He's doing great leading the second unit and then coming in to rotations with the same guys that he's been playing with his whole NBA career, basically. Yeah, I mean, this is a great matchup because both teams are down in the play-in, on the lower side of the play-in, but they're both teams that still aren't counted out as contenders because of the players that they have on their roster. On any given night, they can beat any given team. I think except for the Denver Nuggets, both of these guys have a tough time with Jokic because of his size and ability. But any other team, it's like we were saying last week, it's a tough reward for a top team to have to play the Lakers or the Warriors as the 7th and 8th seed if they both are able to make it out of the play-in. Well, they can't because if they're 9th, 10th, one of them is going home. But if the standings change, if they're both able to make it out of the play-in, it's a tough matchup for a 1 and 2 seed. So very, very interesting game there. we'll see how it rolls out. I like the Lakers in this one. D'Lo's been on a roller. I like the Spencer Dinwiddie pickup. He's been a great addition as well. Yeah, I like the Lakers for this one.
No, very quickly, I was telling my barber the other day. I'm like, if the Lakers don't start getting their act together, they're not gonna do so well.
Of course,
And
yeah.
his response was, "Of course they're gonna do well. They're the Lakers. They're gonna make the playoffs." I'm like, okay,
Come on.
wherever you say, man. You can't be losing to the not the Suns, or you can't lose to the Suns either. But you can't be losing to the Kings. I'm saying you guys are a good
Yeah.
team, but
Yeah.
I digress.
It's the LA delusion, you know. You ride and die for the Lake show. So, um, I think the Lakers, they got a good shot this year. I like the Dinwiddie pickup. And like I said, the team I think is synergizing a little bit more. They've been finding the pacing. I think ever since that win against Boston, without LeBron and AD, a lot of the supporting cast has a lot more trust with each other, and the stars have put their trust in the supporting cast a little bit as well. And I don't know, man, D'Lo, he really does have ice in his vein this season because he heard the trade rumors and he said you're not putting me out of a job. You're not sending me somewhere else I don't want to be. And he's really been pushing himself to put up some numbers, and it's been working.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, it's like you hear the trade rumors, and it's like, nope, wait, not so fast.
Yeah, he's like psych.
Yep, exactly. But yes, and to wrap up this week's matchup roundup, I guess we're calling it. Danny, just give me your prediction. Just give me one name. Who's winning, Denver or Dallas?
Denver, easily.
Easily.
Yep.
All right, and why? One reason why.
I don't think there's a single team in the East or West, especially with Joel Embiid out, that's able to match up against Nikola Jokic and Jamal Murray. Jokic is just too big. His passing is incredible. He's got too many moves on him. And he himself, if you count his assists as points, he's like a 50-point contributor on the floor. He just has gravity. He's able to whip the ball around, get other people their opportunity to make a basket, and the rest of the cast in Denver there hits it when the ball comes to them and it's their time. The Mavs are doing well. Luka is tough to guard, but I think Denver is just so solid. They got Reggie Jackson as a ball handler, secondary ball handler. It's just they've got so much on them, and they've developed those young rookies on their roster very well. To be playing with a championship contention, these rookies have really been stepping up. So I like Denver for this one, for sure.
Okay, thank you, sir, for that prediction. But do you have any last words before we move on?
Yeah, I mean, handful of injuries. I think another couple of players went out with some season-ending surgeries or injuries. So, unfortunately, a lot of players are waiting for hopefully a first-round playoff position so that they can recover and get back to ball in time. But speedy recovery to them. I'm excited to watch more basketball. We'll see how it shakes out in both the bottom of the East and West because it's pretty tight now. Yeah, I'll keep my eye out.
All right, then, yeah. I mean, we talked a lot about the NBA here. Went over a little bit of our usual time zone here, but it was a lot of good information, I think. So, hope everyone got their
Let's speed
good
run
NBA
this
fix here.
warm up, bro.
I mean, we could try. I mean, I gotta know what's on your mind. So yeah, we're gonna go to the warm up now. And like I said, Danny put this idea out. Sports memorabilia. So we're just gonna talk about what our favorite sports. I got a bunch of stuff in my room right here that's sports related. So yeah, I'm well covered. But Danny, what do you got? What's one sports memorabilia item that you're like, dang, like this is the coolest shit ever, or you just happen to have on you? And no, you can't say your Columbus Crew ball that disappeared.
Yeah, well, it's torn up and it's in the trash. Thanks for reminding me. I gotta tell you, Rob, I literally have zero sports memorabilia that's not apparel. Literally none. But I did see at our local gyms. I think they do this at LA Fitnesses all around. But they got a lot of cool stuff. At LA Fitness, they had like a bunch of signed NBA, NFL, um, MLB, soccer stuff, boxing stuff. It's really cool seeing some of that stuff they had. I think it was a signed ticket for Kobe's last game.
Oh, that's
Excuse
pretty
me.
cool.
Yeah, they had signed Austin Reeves jersey, signed Dennis Rodman jersey, signed Scottie Pippen poster. It's really cool seeing all this stuff. It's a part of sports history. You get to own a part of sports history. Point at it, look at it, like, hey, I know it's part of their contract and they have to sign this thing, but I have the signature of a player who was forced to sign this object, which is commemorating a moment in sports history of the player themselves. It's like a really cool thing to have. I always go to our local hobby convention thing, Frankensons, and I always walk by that sports aisle. And every time there's like one or two things, like there's a couple Trae Young signed posters, or there's like Kobe stuff. I'm like, man, should I buy it? There's like $300. I was like, fuck, I can't justify that and hang it up, But one day, when the tax return is fat, I will buy it.
Your tax return?
Yeah.
Or you could just buy something and get it signed. I don't know. Have you ever thought of that?
Oh, okay, but what are the chances of me getting it signed? I'd have to get a seat right up, either by the tunnel, and hopefully they grab my thing. Bro, I'm like, we're nearly 30 years old, Rob. You think they're gonna look at us and be like, it's like, hey, this weirdo is handing me a jersey. Let me sign it real quick and hand it back to him. No, they're gonna do the kids, right? They're gonna sign their own shoes, give it to a kid or something. Come on, man. How am I gonna get signed by something?
Okay, Danny, you're a nice guy. I'm pretty sure you like, hey, so and so. I've been a big fan of yours for a while.
How would I even get close to them?
I've never actually had an opportunity to get something signed. Would you mind signing this for me, please?
Oh, you know what?
Obviously, you're not.
That's a good
you're
point.
not a reseller. You're not a reseller, Danny.
No,
They're not gonna be
of
mean
course
to
not.
you. But obviously, you're a grown adult. I'm pretty sure you can handle rejection.
You're right. I should be aiming for a Kobe. I should be aiming for a Trae Young. I should be aiming for Rui Hachimura.
Yes.
I should be aiming for a Spencer Dinwiddie, a DeAndre Hunter, from the Hawks.
Yes.
Jalen Johnson. Yeah, you're
also,
right.
I'd like to point out, you're saying how you're gonna get to these people, which you don't have to get to modern day active athletes. Remember, you call, like you said, there's Frankensons.
But
they have
how?
events there all the time. You pay and you go and you're like, hey, I fucking love you, bro. And you get something
it's so
signed.
rare for them to be there.
And then you
know what I'm
go home and you show your parents and your girlfriend. And you're like, hey, look,
bro.
I got a signed bobblehead.
They would not even know.
I got a signed bobblehead by, I don't know. I was going to say a wrestler because they have a lot of wrestlers there.
Yeah, they do have a lot of wrestlers. Mick Foley. My dad's like, what?
They've had Drew Brees there.
I have some black pepper right here.
They've had, wait, what?
No, it was a joke.
I know, I heard you, but it's
okay. One of our 6 listeners heard it and they got it.
I heard you, but it took me. I had to process it after I finished my sentence. You're a fool.
It's all right. It's all right, Rob. You're on 3 generations past processes. It's okay. I'm on that next level shit.
All right. But yeah, like stuff
Next
like
level
that.
visual shit.
I don't know. I'm trying to think about it. I mean, that is true. First, you have to find an area to get it signed, which obviously just throwing your shit at them is not gonna work. Or don't be those people where you bring like 4 things and be like, hey, can you sign all these things? Like, all right, 4 things is just too obvious.
You know what I could do?
There's no way in hell you're gonna have all those 4 things in your house. You're gonna have to sell at least one.
Be one of those guys that wears like a bunch of cool old like who's that guy who he wore like every single Harden jersey ever, like starting from high school. He was like this younger kid, and he was
I'm not
there
too
during the
familiar with
pregame,
that.
and he lifted up and he showed every single Harden jersey, and Harden came up. I think it was right before the game or right after the game. He signed every single jersey. Um, that was legit.
Oh, so that's cool because he has like
Yeah,
every
that's
single
cool.
jersey.
Yeah, yeah. I got the money for that.
Like
I'm gonna be honest.
no, yeah, like I've seen. There's a video. It was Rey Mysterio, the pro wrestler.
Yeah.
He was at the airport and like these two guys come up to him. One guy had like posters and like a bunch of other things, and one guy had like Funko Pops taped to like a board, and it was like multiple. And he's like, "Hey, can you sign this? Like, I loved you throughout through your career." And Rey Mysterio just looked at him, and he was like, "I'm sorry, man, I'm not signing all that." And he's like, "I'm not gonna sign anything today." And he's like, "I gotta go on my flight or whatever. I'm just gonna go chill and do that." And he just started walking
Yeah.
away. And the guy's like, "Oh, I loved your career at blah blah blah. I followed you since blah blah blah." Like, bro, if you're bringing a cardboard with Funko Pops or whatever with sports stuff taped to it, like obviously you're not there because
Yeah, you're
you're
not
not
there
necessarily
because you love
there.
the guy. You're trying to make a profit off it. Yeah, it just feels weird.
Yeah. So don't be those people.
Don't be that guy. You're not that guy,
But
pal.
yeah, you're not that guy, pal. I don't know. Can I give my 2 cents now?
Go ahead.
So
you got,
I
bro?
got for Christmas a long time ago. I got myself. I've never opened it, by the way. Is a Drew Brees figurine. It's an NFL Series 23. McFarlane Collector Level Gold Drew Brees New Orleans Saints figurine. I believe it was purchased a little bit after they won the Super Bowl. So I've always had it. I was gonna open it someday, but I just never. I don't know. I never pulled the trigger on it. So still in the casing. This is what I have. So yeah, it's pretty cool. It's not signed, but I mean it's Drew Brees. Like I said, a little bit after they won the Super Bowl. So I love it. I have it here next to me. What else do I got? I think I might have mentioned it on the show a long time ago. I have 2 signed pro wrestler autographs. I have one signed by Matt Hardy, Volume 1, and I have another one signed by Rey Mysterio, which were purchased. One was purchased, one was given to me.
Ooh.
So I have those. I also have. Oh, I'm dumb. I have it stored away though. I do have a signed Drew Brees picture.
Signed Drew Brees picture.
A relative
Holy
of
shit.
mine got it for me, or they got it signed and then they framed it for me. So I have it put away because I'm not gonna have it bust anywhere because it's signed Drew Brees.
Damn. Hey, don't
Autograph.
bust on that, my guy. That's crazy.
No, yeah. We'll pause on that.
Yeah, you pause on that. You said it.
Let me see what else I have. I know I have like a couple like Saints posters that I have. I have like a bunch of like Dodger like nacho / like ice cream helmets. I mean those are not sports memorabilia, but it's still something sporting that you get to take home. We used to get like foam fingers like that. I have a LA Galaxy bobblehead. It's of the mascot. I have that. It says Galaxy win. He has his win flag. I have that bobblehead. What else do I have? I have a USC. It's like a little stocking. It says USC on it. Oh, I have a Kenley Jansen bobblehead still in the box from like 2017. So another Dodger bobblehead. My grandma has a bunch of bobbleheads because we used to go to a lot of Dodger games. So she has a bunch of bobbleheads, by the way. I'm not going to go through all of them because we have a lot. I have a replica World Series Dodgers ring. So that one's cool. I'm trying to think because I have like a bunch of stuff right in front of me, but I'm trying to think of like other shit that I have. I don't know. I think that's like mostly off the top of my head. Dang, you really don't have nothing?
I literally have nothing.
Not even like a Christmas ornament?
No. I don't even have a
Fuck.
Christmas ornament. No.
That's crazy, bro.
Let me think if I had anything. I don't even think I had anything in the
What's
past.
more crazier is that you're the one that thought of this idea.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I wanted the people to put it in the comments.
Yeah, and I said next week, and you said, "Oh yeah, we could talk about it next week," which we
Yeah.
didn't get much, so
You know
that's
what
why
we're
we're
talking about now?
it.
That's fine.
But
It's it.
yeah,
We're talking about it now.
I think that's most of the stuff that I got. If I have anything later, I'll put it in the comments somewhere on one of our glorious social medias. So if you guys want to, if you happen to listen to this, let us know something you got, like a bobblehead, any signed items. I mean, yeah, if it's like a pennant, a flag, I don't know, whatever you consider sports memorabilia. Nothing clothing related. We already did sporting apparel last week. But I mean, if you do have a signed object, just let us know, and yeah, we'll talk about it, see what's up. But yeah, dang, you have anything else to add in regards to a sports memorabilia?
No, I mean I think it's really cool. Especially I love those moments when athletes give them to kids and whatnot. Those are always awesome little moments. So if you have a little special memory attached to it, put it in the comments. Yeah, let us know what you got and share it with us. I'm excited to see what everyone has.
No, yeah, I mean, it's a cool little hobby that people do, and as long as you're not like like a crazy reseller, yeah,
Don't be a
it's a good
weirdo.
thing to
Come
do.
on.
No, don't be weird though. Just really quick, Jamal Williams, the Saints running back, you know what he did one time? I guess to compensate for not always signing stuff like for adults, he
Uh-huh.
looked at them and said, "All right, you guys want stuff signed? We have to trade."
Oh,
And
that's
he's like
sick.
he's a huge anime head, so people
Yeah.
were bringing him like Naruto shit and like
Bro,
Pokemon.
that's pretty cool.
So he was signing people shit, but they would have to trade him something.
Yeah,
It
that's
was
dope.
that was like a season ago or so.
I like that.
But yeah, makes it fun.
Yeah,
But
that's
I
awesome.
think that does our warm up topic for this week. But Danny, are you ready for the rundown?
Yes, sir.
Alrighty, guys. Now in the rundown for this week, we got a bunch of stuff to unpack, so I'm gonna go as quickly as possible to get y'all out of her. And first up, ooh, a typo. Oopsie doopsie. Just as a reminder, the
Bro.
UFL season does start this month once again. I believe it starts at the end of March, so make sure you guys capture that. I believe tickets went on sale for the season, so go on to the UFL website and check it out. And also, the NWSL starts this week, so I have a lot right here, but I'm gonna try to go as quickly as possible. Yeah, the season starts this week. The opener starts off with Kansas City versus Portland. They're opening up the new Kansas City Stadium, which they're promoting as the first women's soccer specific stadium. So congratulations for them on that accomplishment. The game is at 1 p.m. Eastern on ABC and ESPN Plus. Then also on that Saturday we have Louisville versus Orlando at 4 p.m. Eastern on NWSL Plus, which is brand new to this year. Then we have North Carolina versus Houston at 4 p.m. Eastern as well on NWSL Plus. Then we got Utah versus Chicago at 7:30 p.m. Eastern on the newly announced area for games, Ion, which I haven't watched Ion programming in a long time, so that's going to be cool. It's on
It's been a while.
public television, right, Danny? In our neck of the woods, correct?
Yeah.
I haven't watched the regular television in a while, so. Last time I watched Ion, it was because they had cartoons. So it's been
I
a
watched
hot
it
minute.
because they had Criminal Minds.
Oh yeah, that was a good show too. Then on Sunday, March 17th, we have Angel City versus the newly what was the word? Not transformed. Newly constructed Bay FC. They will play at 7:30 Eastern, also on Ion, so that's cool. Local team on local television.
Awesome.
Then we also have Seattle versus Washington at 6 p.m. That game will be on NWSL Plus. So yeah, I'm looking forward to a good NWSL season. Considering how we just had another women's tournament, which I'm gonna skip over to it makes more sense. We had the CONCACAF Women's Gold Cup that just wrapped up, and congratulations to the U.S. Women's National Team for winning the first ever iteration of this tournament. I'm gonna go over some of the score lines very quickly. We had the semifinal matchup on Wednesday, March 6th. Canada faced off against the U.S., in which they played in a very rainy San Diego nighttime, in which the game ended 2-2 and went to extra time. Or no, game after extra time, the game ended 2-2, in which they went into penalties, in which the U.S. won 3-1. The U.S.'s Jaden Shaw and Sophia Smith both scored in the game. I say a lot of rain, Danny, because this game was basically quintessentially played in a flood at Snapdragon Stadium in San Diego. No, yeah, it was bad. Like, they would kick the ball and the ball would get stuck in the water.
Jesus.
Yeah, people were saying the game probably should have been rescheduled for like the next day or something, but I guess they couldn't budge, so they were forced to play in torrential rain. The game before this, which there wasn't a lot of rain, was Brazil and Mexico, in which Brazil won 3-0. And then, in the final, the U.S., they play a scrappy, difficult game once again. I didn't get to watch this game, but that's what I was told. The game ended 1-0 with the U.S. being the victors, of course, over Brazil. Lindsey Horan got the lone goal just before the half in the 45th minute. According to what I was reading, it was difficult. It wasn't the prettiest game for the U.S. I was surprised it ended on a 1-0 scoreline, considering Brazil just put 3 up, 0 down on Mexico, who, by the way, Mexico defeated the U.S. in the tournament. So, congratulations to you ladies. You guys did a great job. You put a stamp on history in regards to the CONCACAF region. And so the first iteration of this, the Women's Gold Cup tournament, I'm looking forward to the growth of this. Hopefully we can invite a couple more teams, and that the tournament keeps growing. But shout out to the U.S. Women's National Team winning the first ever Women's Gold Cup. And other soccer news in the world, we also have the CONCACAF Champions Cup, which is underway at the moment, but now we are going into the second legs. As of this recording, the Columbus Crew defeated the Houston Dynamo 2-1 on aggregate. In the first matchup, the Columbus Crew walked away with the last minute goal in Houston to win that game. And in the second leg, Columbus got a goal by Chucho Hernandez to give them a 2-goal lead in aggregate. But then Houston, in the last 80-some minutes of the game, got a goal. Kind of had Columbus in the last couple minutes, but Columbus were able to get the win. Philadelphia Union are currently playing out in Pachuca in Mexico and have laid a fat-ass egg. As of this recording, the scoreline is 6-0. In which, as I'm going to repeat, this is the second leg. The second leg ended 0-0. And just Philadelphia, I don't know what the hell y'all thinking, man. Like, that's bad, bro. It's not good. Not good at all. And then we also have, let me see, Orlando City versus Tigres. That game ended 0-0. So, after this, the game should already ended. Who knows who wins? Fingers crossed Orlando City gets the win, as they are an MLS club team. So I like to see the MLS teams progress. Then Wednesday, as if you're listening to this, we have Robin Hood versus Herediano. We also have Club America versus Guadalajara. Club America, I believe, won 3-0 in the first game at Guadalajara at the Estadio Akron. So now we have to see what the home leg looks for them. And then on the 13th as well, we have Nashville traveling to Inter Miami. That game ended 2-0 as Nashville gave up a 2-0 lead. But hey, you give Inter Miami time, they're going to kill you. And then on the 14th, on Thursday, we have Alajuelense hosting the New England Revolution, where the New England Revolution poured on a bunch of goals on the Costa Rican club. Let me see, I'm trying to pull it up. New England won 4-0, so they're leading 4-0 on aggregate. And then also on the 14th, we have Monterrey versus Cincinnati. Monterrey won the first leg in Cincinnati 1-0 with the lone Brandon Vasquez goal, former player of Cincinnati. He didn't celebrate out of respect, but now they go to Monterrey for the return leg. And just as an update for the UEFA Champions League. Real Madrid and Manchester City won their respective legs. Real Madrid defeating RB Leipzig and Manchester City defeating Copenhagen. And then Tuesday, March 12th, as of this recording, Barcelona defeated Napoli in their second leg, and Arsenal and FC Porto went to penalties, in which Arsenal were the victors. So Arsenal and Barcelona have moved on, qualified to the next round. If you're listening to this recording on Wednesday, March 13th, Borussia Dortmund and PSV Eindhoven should or have played, and also Atletico Madrid and versus Inter Milan are also playing as well. So we have to wait and see who are the victors out of that. Moving on now with some NFL news very quickly. Eagles. The Philadelphia Eagles probably gained a shock. The most shocking signing as of late, in my opinion. Saquon Barkley, former running back of the New York Giants. Yeah, he's taking his talents a little bit south. It's an NFC East competitor. I'm very shocked of this move, honestly. I would have thought that maybe he would have stayed in New York, but I guess it didn't feel right for him. So now he's taking his talents to quintessentially their arch rival, which is insane. Their neighbor rival. So that's crazy. Also in signing news, Derrick Henry, former running back for the Titans, has also made the move. He will now be playing for the Baltimore Ravens. And then another big news. I know I mentioned last week the Broncos were releasing Russell Wilson. And a couple days later, it was announced that Russell Wilson is now a Pittsburgh Steeler, which is insane. So, yeah, we have to wait to see how that develops. But there's been a lot of signings in regards to the NFL. So, if you're a big NFL tackle football fan, make sure you go to the NFL's Instagram or NFL's website. Follow any developing news. At Rambling Runoff, we'll try to keep up with all the news as it comes out. But, yeah, there's been a lot of moves going on, a lot of signings, a couple of people being released, then getting re-signed by other teams in very quick succession, by the way. So, yeah, try to keep up with all the news, man. So there's a lot to take in. But, yeah, last thing that I have on here for the rundown is some NASCAR news. Of course, Christopher Bell wins the Shriners Children's 500 at Phoenix Raceway as the first win of the season. I'd like to apologize. I believe I wrote down the wrong name of the racetrack. I don't know why I wrote down something else. Maybe, I guess the internet lied to me. Who knew it could do that? But yeah, congratulations to Christopher Bell on getting the first win of the season. And yeah, next week's race will take place Sunday, March 17th at 3:30 p.m. Eastern. It will be the Ford City 500 from Bristol, Tennessee at Bristol Motor Speedway. And with that, Danny, I'd like to ask you, do you have anything else to add in regards to anything I said, or anything you would like to let the people know in regards to the sporting world?
I got nothing. Yeah, this week I got nothing. Sorry, y'all.
Alright. No, it's all good. It's all good. But yeah, I think that does it for us today here at Rambling Runoff. Thank you for listening to our wonderful podcast, Rambling Runoff. Of course, if you're listening / watching on YouTube, please hit that like and subscribe button. We really appreciate it. If you're on Spotify, please give us 5 stars. We love that as well. We're also on Spotify for podcasters, Amazon Music, Apple Music, and Google Podcasts, as long as it still exists. If you want to hear from us on social media, please hit us up at Rambling Runoff. You can find us on X, formerly Twitter, also on Instagram at Rambling Runoff, and we also occasionally post on TikTok. But yes, I've been your host, Robert Rios. For my co-host, Danny Tan, we will see you next week. Bye.
Peace.